International Business Management Studies, Acharya Nagarjuna University. Today's our topic is regarding the differences between formal and informal organizations. In previous classes, we have discussed regarding the formal organization, what is the concept of formal organization and informal organization, what were the features, advantages, and disadvantages of formal and informal organizations, right? Now, what were the basic differences between the formal and informal organizations? And according to origin, depending upon purpose, size, nature of groups, likewise, there are 11 differences between the formal and informal organizations. Okay, now we'll see what were those differences. First one is origin. Okay, so origin means the basis of the organizations. Okay, so formal organizations were created deliberately by the management. We know that consciously, okay, intentionally, the rules, policies, procedures will be framed by the management, which are to be followed by the employees in the organization. Okay, coming to informal organizations emerges spontaneously on the account of socio-psychological forces operating at the workplace. Okay, we know the basic difference between formal and informal. Formal are based on organizational goals. In order to achieve the organizational goals, formal organizations policies and procedures will be made. But coming to informal organizations, it is purely based on the satisfaction of the social needs of the employees in the organization, right? Next, coming to purpose. So what does purpose means? Formal organization is created for achieving the legitimate objectives of the organization. The purpose, the basic purpose, why the formal organization is meant for. Okay, so it is meant for, the purpose is meant for, the formal organization is in order to achieve the objectives of the organization, which are framed legally. Okay, legitimate is nothing but legal rules and regulations of the organization, which are to be followed by the employees in the organization. Coming to informal organization, it is created by the members of organization but not the top management. Okay, or else the formal organizational management, it is created spontaneously by the members of the organization in order to satisfy their personal and organizational work environment goals. Okay, for their social, basically, if we want to say, to satisfy their social needs, psychological satisfaction. So this is the basic purpose of formal and informal. Okay, coming to size, so this is another difference. Formal groups may be quite larger in size, particularly when these groups are constituted to give representation to various interest of groups. Okay, we know formal organizations means we have different departments, and each department have their departmental goals, and functional heads will be there, and they exercise according to the policies and procedures of the organization. Okay, so it depends upon the size of the organization also. So formal groups, formal management will be naturally it will be a larger organization. Okay, so definitely the size will be larger. But coming to informal organizations, they are tend to be very small in size because they are a part of the organization. Okay, some people, according to their interest, according to their like-mindedness, they form a group. Okay, according to their personal attitudes. Okay, so similarities of their personal attitudes, similarities of their likes and dislikes. Okay, attitudes, beliefs, values, according to that some people form as a group in the organization. So those are known as informal groups, and those groups will be not in that much large size. Smaller groups can be maintained in the informal organizations. Coming to nature of groups, so what would be the nature of group for formal and informal? Okay, for formal groups, the nature of the group is stable. Okay, and it continues for a longer period of time till the organization exists. Okay, but now in informal organization or informal groups, they are quite unstable in nature. They can be disappeared, okay, at any time. the crease to be attractive for members when changes take place in personal liking and disliking, because informal organizations are based on relationships, the like-mindedness, the personal attitudes, similarities of the personal attitudes, beliefs, values, likes and dislikes. So if at all there are any changes in the people, if at all there are any changes in the members of the group, means definitely the group will be disappeared, but not informal groups, because they are stable, policies are stable, practices are stable, procedures are stable. They will continue till the organization is in existence. Coming to number of groups. So what is number of groups? Generally the number of informal groups is larger than the number of formal groups. Informal groups is larger means certain section of people, depending upon the similarities of the attitudes and values, they will form a group. For example, if we take in HR department, some people who are working in that particular department, of 5 to 6 people, they may form a informal group. Coming to marketing section, there some 6 to 7 members, they may form another informal group. Likewise, in total organization, different informal groups can be seen. But not like that in formal organization. Coming to another difference, authority. Depending upon authority, how formal and informal can be differentiated. In formal organization, it is bound together by a hierarchical structure in which authority flows from higher to lower levels. We know that in formal authority there will be a structure, organization structure. Delegation of authority depends upon the structure, levels of the organization and management. But in informal organizations, all members are equal. Here, no hierarchical method can be seen. Though some may command more authority also in informal organizations, here that sense is not seen in informal organizations. But in formal organizations, definitely a hierarchical structure is maintained by the organizations. We will see top management, middle level management, lower level management. They have their own responsibilities, they have their own authorities. So like that, depending upon the authority, the basis of authority, formal and informal can be differentiated. Coming to behavior of members, how the behavior of members will be there in formal organization or in informal organizations. Behavior of members in informal organizations is governed by formal rules and regulations, because the organization is formed by the top management. They will have their some state of affairs, and according to those state of affairs, a formal organization will be maintained. So it consists of certain rules and regulations, certain policies and practices. According to that, employees also behavior, they will not abide the rule, they will not against the rules, they will not act against the rules of the organizations. They will definitely follow the rules and regulations of the formal organization. For example, if we take the time to arrive for the office. So likewise, definitely they will not come late for the organizations to work. So that is a rule. According to the rules, they will behave. But in informal organizations, the behavior of the members is governed by not the rules and regulations. Here they are maintained by the norms, the beliefs, the values of the group. So here the basic difference, the behavior of the member will be differentiated depending upon the rules and regulations. If at all there is a rule, definitely they will work according to that rules and regulations. But here this is as it is an informal organization and it is based on the norms, beliefs and values, they will behave according to that. Coming to another differentiation, communication. So we all know that communication plays a significant role in every organization. If at all there is no effective and proper communication within the departments of the organization, it leads to cost of time, it leads to cost of money. So informal organization communication normally flows through the prescribed chain of command. That is nothing but there will be levels of management, and the delegation of authority or the directions or the instructions can be maintained according to the levels of the management. So communication will be in that process. But coming to in informal organization, communication passes through informal channels which do not have one single form. Okay, there will not be any single form. For example, if we take for formal organizations, there will be a prescribed format like a vertical communication or else horizontal communication. Okay, like that. Likewise, or else diagonal communication. But here there is no such type of a prescribed communication. Okay, type of communication. Here any member will be communicated to any other member. So there is no single format for informal organization communication. Coming to leadership, in leadership, formal organizations, leadership is vested with managers. We all know functional heads, departmental heads will be the head of that particular department, and they will be treated as the leaders. Okay, but in informal organizations, leadership is not associated with management. Okay, they will elect the members, they will elect the leader according to the commitment, according to their capabilities. So a leader will be elected within the informal groups. Okay, and another differentiation is status. So there are sharp status differentials among the members of formal organizations. In informal organizations, there may be social rankings among people, but these do not prevent free action among people. Okay, so status differentials in the formal organizations means they can be clearly seen in formal organizations. We will see the top level, middle level, lower level, superiors, subordinates, foreman, lineman. Likewise, a status will be maintained. But here in informal organizations, not depending upon their work, depending upon the social, depending upon the people's behavior. Okay, their attitudes, their values. Okay, the social rankings will be given in informal organizations. The status will be given according to the social rankings. Coming to the last one, abolition. So what does abolition means? Management can be terminated. Okay, management can abolish the formal groups at any time. Okay, but management has no control over informal groups, which are the creation of the natural desire of human beings to interact. So here abolition can be made in formal groups because it is the decision taken by the top management. So the top management, if at all it decides to abolish or terminate the formal groups, it can do that. But it cannot control the informal groups because informal groups are based on the desires of the human beings, their connectivity, their commitment, their interaction with other persons. Basically, interaction and communication plays important role in the human beings. So this cannot be controlled by the management.